Well, welcome. This is Dr. Kurt Johnson of Humanity's Moment of Choice from the Evolutionary Leaders Circle, the project of the Source of Synergy Foundation. And we want to share this short video, The Courage of Humanity's Heart, a call to unite and heal, with an update on upcoming events. With John Raymer of the Compassion Games and the Reverend Deborah Moldow, director of the Evolutionary Leaders. And you can find the larger video from the Evolutionary Partners Network's Nonviolence Campaign at the link on the banner that closes out this sharing. So let's go over right now to this highlight video.
There are so many ways that we can highlight nonviolence this month of January 2025 and beyond. But right now, we have events coming up, we have programs, we have social media. And so there are lots of ways to highlight nonviolence. And one person who is helping to coordinate lots of this is John Raymer. So I'd like to ask John to tell us about the things that he's highlighting this month with the Compassion Games and in other ways as well. John Raymer.
Yeah. Thank you again, Deborah, and thank you, Marty, and thank you, Rick and Kurt, for that inspiration. For me, it's awareness plus action that's going to bring about the change. So making a pledge is really appropriate because just thinking about these things isn't enough. We need to interact and we need to act together. In fact, I have a book here that is my quotes, and you can tell I started trying to put in my favorite one, and then it ended up on every page. But here's one about nonviolence. I thought you'd appreciate. We all appreciate that. Dr. King said, "Nonviolence is the answer to the crucial political and moral questions of our time. The need for mankind to overcome oppression and violence without resorting to oppression and violence. Mankind must evolve for all human conflict a method which rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation. The foundation of such a method is love." It's amazing how profound the wisdom of Dr. King and how enduring it is. And also, it's painful to realize how challenged we are and how ineffective we are at bringing this into our world. And that's why I think this is a pivotal moment. People are hurting. There's so much changing our world. And it's not just the politics and the policies, but the impact of COVID that we've all gone through, the effect of this AI technology changing everything, the corrosive effect of social media, all of these things are causing us to have to rethink our very role here. And for me, the joy in all this is our collective action for common good, actually learning how to work together. I'm a musician, and I've learned so much from it about what it takes to create harmony. What does it really take to listen to each other and work together? And January is a remarkable confluence of events. So let me tell you what I see in January, but let me just give you some background on the Compassion Games. There was an event in Seattle, where I live, called the Seeds of Compassion with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. It was 5 days free to the public, the largest event in the history of the state. And out of that, Seattle evolved the idea of becoming a compassionate city. And we pulled that off with the mayor and the city council. That's a whole other story. But one of the things that happened is we put the call out to other cities. And one city in particular responded was Louisville, Kentucky. And you'll see why I mentioned that, because that was an interesting year. They came out to Seattle. We honored them for their great work. Mayor Fisher at the time was a true leader of compassionate action. Then they went home and wrote me a letter claiming that they were the most compassionate city in the world, and that they'd be so till proven otherwise. In fact, they said they were so compassionate they'd come out to Seattle to help us beat them. I thought that was crazy. I loved it because what was so revealing was when I would talk to people out on the streets and tell them about all the need for change and compassion. People would say, "That's really great. I'm really glad you're doing that." But when I tell them that the mayor of Louisville said they were the most compassionate city, people would say, What? How can I get involved?" And I've come to see that we need to reinforce and develop what's already working in our communities. And part of the Compassion Games, which we started that year, which was the year of the Hunger Games, so this was an antidote. And Louisville has a particular place in all this because Jennifer Lawrence is from Louisville, but so is Muhammad Ali and the Ali Center. And I'm going to explain how that ties into what's happening this year in 2025 with Muhammad Ali's Ali Center and their Compassion Index. So we played the games, and what we realized is that you don't have to start new stuff. There's already good things happening in your community, but you can ignite through this we call co-opetition idea, which really comes from the Native Americans who had a potlatch tradition where they come together and attempt to outgive to each other. And that spirit of giving and that spirit of living the loving way as a way of life is so at the heart of the Compassion Games. In fact, the chairman of the Compassion Games International is Hereditary Chief Phil Lane, who shared with me those guiding principles that have been at the core of all this work on compassion. Simply stated, starting from within, working in a circle, in a sacred manner, we heal and develop ourselves, our relationships, and the world. Now, this January is remarkable because not only is it Martin Luther King's birthday, and on January 15th, Pato and Antoinette are going to be celebrating Dr. King's birthday. But AmeriCorps and the United States government has honored Dr. King with a day of service. And that's always the third Monday in January. Well, this year, the third Monday in January is January 20th. So the day of the presidential inauguration is the MLK Day of Service. Maybe it's an accident. I don't know. But boy, what a great opportunity to put forward the wisdom and insight of Dr. King at a moment like this. And what's happening is the Ali Center is launching this compassion index that they've been doing. And they've reached out to us. And in fact, my wife Summer and I are headed to the East Coast. So January 15th is Dr. King's birthday. On the 16th, there's a press conference we'll be a part of, and so will Rick and many others, at the Idealist headquarters, launching this compassion index that the Ali Center is supporting. Then the 17th, which is actually Ali's birthday, kicks off this weekend of service that ends up on Monday with a day, not a day off, but a day on, a day of service that's that's happening at the same time as the inauguration. And Summer and I are going to be in Washington, D.C. at the inaugural. And we're going to be playing a very, I think, fun game. So I'm going to show you, this is the printout of the card we're going to hand out to people. And we're going to have our little cameras there, and we're going to be asking people a question there. And this is the 40 days of peace and greatness that get kicked off on January 20th. And it ends with the beloved community convergence on March 1st and 2nd. So we've got this 40-day time frame to play our hearts out. And not only just do these acts, but come back and report on them, because that's one of the key benefits of the games is we get to see what impact we're having. We measure our compassion strength. We use some metrics like the number of hours of service, number of people served, number of volunteers, but we also collect our insights. What have we learned about the effect of service on not just the people we serve, but on us who are doing the service? And now we're going to be able to use AI to summarize all of that like we've never done before. But this is the question that we're going to be asking people. All right, well, what can we do together to make America greater than it's ever been? And I can't wait to see what people say. And anytime they tell me what, I'm going to ask them, well, how are we going to do it? And we're really talking about overcoming, and it takes courage at this time. Love, kindness, and caring, they're not just ideals. They're at the very heart of who we are. So this is a moment unlike anything I've ever seen before, for us to bridge what has been with this uncertain future that's coming our way. And I know of nothing better to do than to reach out and touch people and demonstrate that your concerns are my concerns. We are in this together. Like Dr. King would say, we may have come on different ships, but we're all in the same boat now. I don't know if it was Dr. King, maybe it was John Lewis who said that, but that's come to be in this kind of space is one of the realities we need to face. So I'm here in service. The games are going to be happening. There's so many creative expressions. You can't lose the compassion games. We've got the secret agents of compassion. We identify, we call 6 dimensions of compassion. And we've been touching on all those here. It starts with compassion for yourself, then compassion for those we know, compassion for strangers, compassion for the systems. And that includes things like budgets in communities or the algorithms online. This is another tremendous part of our world today. So compassion for systems, compassion for future generations, and then compassion for all of life. Those 6 dimensions. So you could play as an individual. You could be anonymous. You don't need to take credit for your acts of compassion, but we want you to post them on the compassion report map so we can start to see what we're doing collectively. And then when we get together in the beloved community convergence, March 1st and 2nd, we're going to really celebrate what we're able to do together. And how do we really turn what we have into what we need so we can get the world that we want? This is the pressing question of our time. And I'm thrilled to be a part. And thank you, Deborah. Kurt, thanks for letting me just add a couple things I realized that are happening in January, happening also in New York. Harry Uvegi's there and Brand Earth and Chief Dwayne Perry from the Ramapo, Muncie Lenape people. They're all converging. We're going to have the mayor is opening his mansion to us again. Now they've met a few times, but we're planning on solstice, that June 21st, 2025, a global powwow in Central Park to unite humanity and restore Mother Earth. It's the 400th anniversary of New York, the 750th anniversary of Amsterdam. Anna Marie from the Hague Center is coming over. It's a tremendous opportunity to demonstrate unity in action. This is a Jubilee year, right? This is the 80th anniversary of dropping the atomic bomb. For me, 2025 is the moment. It's that Kairos moment when things are coming together. So we're going to be at the Idealist headquarters, the Muhammad Ali press conference on the 16th, the Compassion Summit that follows, and then a team meeting for the Manhattan Project, which is the past revealed and the future restored. And that's going to lead to this summer solstice Central Park powwow on the Great Lawn. Oh my gosh, what a great opportunity for us to demonstrate unity in action. Game on.
This is about nonviolence and all of these beautiful initiatives that are going to make the world a more compassionate, more loving place for us, for we, all of us, and all life. And may peace prevail on earth.